mention, a suggestion, a whiff, an aroma, a scent.
That there was a level of disregard for others.
An indication of disregard for others.
They always be trying to do some shit, bro. So it's just good to be in the know about important shit that's actually going on and not just like some stupid ass gossip about a celebrity and shit that really don't fucking matter. It's not even relevant. The shit is really not relevant at all. Unless it's like with Kyrie Irving, where they was like fucking, he was talking about us being Israelites and shit. That's some relevant ass shit. You know what I'm saying? But they was hating on your boy. But it's goody. Or when Kanye was saying that we the Israelites. But Kanye, that dude, he need to talk to me. Or somebody who really knows some shit. And get some really good homies. Because the people that he with got his ass looking like a damn fool. And that shit crazy. But, shit, hopefully y'all provide for his ass so he could get up out of that shit and learn something important. Hell yeah, something true, and drop that Jesus bullshit that he be talking about, fucking the fake Messiah. But anyway, I mean, if you watch this shit that I be talking about, you gonna learn about the real Messiah. But his ass is not fucking Jesus. Jesus don't fit no damn prophecy in no way ever for nothing. The mother, except for maybe the foolish shepherd. Yeah. And if they put Jesus' eye out, then shit, it'll make it even more for certain that his ass fit that prophecy. But I don't even feel like he fit that shit, to be honest, because the motherfucker didn't exist. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that shit. And if he did exist, he was some Roman ass white dude trying to say that he was some shit that he wasn't. But anyway, we gonna get into that shit on another episode. But right now, hey, just check this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
It's not sufficient to mobilise emergency laws. Wake up! Wake up! What is it? Is the house on fire? Is there a murder in here? No! There was an indication that some people might be showing a disregard for others. Ah!
Unfortunately, we had seen examples of during the election campaign, and it emphasized for me that this was the same kind of thing.
It's like a poem. It's not like proper legislation, law, order, all the institutions that have been established in Western civilization, which some people decry as patriarchy and some people celebrate as the proud foundations of a nation. But you can't just suddenly go, we've got indications and hunches and I felt not serene and that. These are not ways to run a country. Emergency! Emergency! Well, what is it? Oh, my knee's swelling up. It often does this when I need to evoke emergency powers. Trudeau cited the threat of serious violence and local police not having a credible plan to restore order as reasons that prompted him to invoke the Emergencies Act, which has not been used in its current form since it was created in the 1980s. Like his haircut. Civil liberties advocates argued police could have cleared the blockades using existing powers. Under Mr. Trudeau's decree, police had the authority to push back crowds on foot or with horses, use pepper spray, enter trucks and other vehicles by whatever means necessary and make arrests en masse. Thank God though, because there was an indication that there could or might be some hateful rhetoric. Also, a whole tin of soup was nearly spilled when a truck parked nearby. I take CBD. I, as a person in recovery, have to be very careful to take CBD that has no THC in it. That's the psychoactive component. Most people take CBD to help them with sleep, stress relief and staying relaxed, pain relief, especially. The distillery makes pure CBD.com/Russ-Sleep and Trudeau a neoliberal. Of course, you're banned for a good night's sleep and some stress-free times. Of course, you'll be aware of the blossoming neoliberalist bromance between our leader in the UK, Rishi Sunak, and Trudeau over there. All of these Davos graduates come together to celebrate in how kind and sharing and inclusive they are, particularly when imposing authoritarianism and condemning the authoritarianism of other nations who they openly emulate. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the so-called golden era of relations with China was over, warning that Beijing's move toward even greater authoritarianism posed a systemic challenge to Britain's values and interests. The old values and interests. What are your values and interests? Don't know, it depends what's convenient that day. Let's be clear, the so-called golden era is over. That's literally the first time I've ever heard of that golden era, have you? I've always gone, I'm really enjoying this golden era with China, aren't you? When we can't pay for our fuel, when we can't afford food, I just bask in the golden light of the relationship with China. We recognise China poses a systemic challenge to our values and interests, a challenge that grows more acute as it moves towards even greater authoritarianism, Sunak said in his speech at the Lord Mayor's banquet in London. Is that a banquet? Here at the Lord Mayor's banquet, we absolutely deplore inequality and elites lording it over an oppressed class, the way we did a couple of years ago, plainly, openly, where everyone could see it. Here at this lovely banquet, we believe that everyone should have rights and access to food. Get the fuck out there. Warmth. That we shouldn't have energy companies earning billions at a time of crisis. Can you turn the temperature? It's a bit hot in here. I can't enjoy my next turkey leg. You can't be at a Lord Mayor's banquet condemning authoritarianism. All they have is the garnish and accoutrement of democracy, the rhetoric of democracy. Our authoritarianism is just a different flavour. That's all. Oh, well, you wouldn't be able to do this video in China. Oh, well, thanks very much for pointing that out. That's it, is it? Well, you're allowed to complain about it here while we do nothing about it. In China, they might pepper spray you. They also do that in Canada. Listen, it's complicated, isn't it, politics? Instead of listening to their people's protests, the Chinese government has chosen to crack down further. How many lockdowns did we endure? How much condemnation? Where was the real science? Where was the truth? Where was the restriction of the profiteering of pharmaceutical companies, big tech giants? Where's the responsibility and culpability of the media? You better forget about China. You got work to do at home. A spokesperson for China's embassy in London said the UK was in no position to pass judgment on China's COVID policy or other internal affairs. Brilliant efficiency of language from China. What have you got to say about our condemnation? Doesn't seem really that it's any of your business or that you're any better. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak pledged that police will have whatever powers were required to crack down on disruptive protests. Well, that's amazing, isn't it? While condemning China, they are introducing new legislation to prevent protest here. Those people protesting in China, they're very, very brave and Chinese and irrelevant. These people protesting here, I don't think they're Chinese, but what they are is a pain in the arse. And that's why we're introducing new powers. Go on, China! Keep protesting! Oi! You're under arrest!
This afternoon, I sat down with all the police chiefs to make it clear that they have my full support in acting decisively to clamp down on illegal protests.
Got to clamp down on the illegal ones. Legal protests, ones that don't do anything, that are irrelevant and are in China. Carry on with those, I support them. Illegal ones, ones that are here and are against my interests, check my bank account, check my marriage, check what my father-in-law does for a living and the connections to the WF. We don't want any of those protests.
It is completely unacceptable that ordinary members of the public are having their lives disrupted by a selfish minority.
Yeah, it's the ordinary members of the public. Like when I was running a hedge fund, me and the old ordinary members of the public were saying like, right, this Moderna thing that we're starting that's going to profit hugely over the next couple of years, how are we going to benefit most of all, ordinary members of the public? Oh, and I got fined during lockdown for being part of those parties. Do you remember that all the way through lockdown when they were having parties while you were doing funerals on YouTube and stuff? It was me and the old ordinary members of the public, other members of the government. Come on, use ordinary members of the public.
My view is that those who break the law should feel the full force of it, and that's what I'm determined to deliver.
It gets to a point where people like Justin Trudeau and Rishi Sunak should simply put themselves in prison and shut up, and they would have made the world a better and more effective place in alignment with the principles that they're continually espousing.
We are currently giving the police new powers so that they can clamp down on these illegal protests.
Giving the police new powers. There it is. That's moving towards a police state, advancing the powers of the police force. Do you remember voting? Do you remember being asked? No, me neither.
They will have my full support in acting acting decisively and rapidly to end the misery and the disruption that's being caused to ordinary families up and down the country who are trying just to go about their day-to-day lives.
The misery and disruption is not as a result of illegal protests. The misery and disruption is as a result of a lack of protests against the cost of living crisis, the corruption in government, the inability to clamp down and control the profiteering from globalist entities such as Big Pharma, Big Tech, protests against a media that will not report the truth to ordinary people. Can you not see that what we're witnessing now is a globalist agenda being asserted via national institutions such as the police force without democratic due process?
And I've said to the police, but whatever they need from government, they will have in terms of new powers. We're already giving them some, and I want to back them to use them.
Well, if you weren't terrified before, you should be terrified now. And allow that terror to spur you into action and activism. Allow it to push you beyond any sense of division between your fellow citizens. Recognise that they are your allies. Put the culture war to one side because there is a real war taking place. In October, a last-minute amendment to the Public Order Bill lets Home Secretary Suella Braverman apply for injunctions against anyone she deems likely to carry out protests. So during that time of chaos in British politics, where there was a new Prime Minister about every half hour, they put through a bill going, oh, but do you mind if the police arrest people for looking funny? Oh, yeah, do that. We're too busy watching the soap opera. The proposal would give police the power to arrest anyone they suspect to be breaching such an injunction. According to Liberty, the amendment will effectively give the Home Secretary the power to clamp down on protests as and when the government chooses. Oh, so next time there's a lockdown and you protest and they don't laud it like they do foreign protests, they will be able to arrest you there and then on the spot, just on the basis of suspicion. Other measures proposed in the bill include giving courts the power to issue serious disruption prevention orders, SDPOs, which can ban individuals from attending protests. Amnesty International said the proposed law would go further than similar legislation in Russia by giving courts the power to issue them without conviction. Without conviction. In this country, that we used to do stuff like that to suspected Irish terrorists. It led to the false imprisonment of numerous people, and it was one of the things we look back as a kind of dark ages policy, internment without conviction or without trial. It's being reintroduced with politicians like, well, obviously we just want to help everyone, we just want to be all kind and cozy. This is new authoritarianism. Worse than Russia, which we all know is the worst country that there's ever been. The range of conditions that can be imposed on individuals under the orders include 24/7 GPS monitoring and restricted internet usage. Already we're moving into the era of social credit scoring and totalitarian control. Police would be given powers to stop and search people or vehicles even if they have no reasonable grounds to do so, if a senior officer believes protest offences are likely to take place in an area. So there you have it. When there were protests in this country, they were condemned. Protests in China are applauded. Protest laws are being introduced in countries across the West in order to prevent us ever protesting again, even though they applaud it in China, yet we're supposed to forget we took on a Chinese model of authoritarianism to introduce and implement the lockdowns that we've only just gotten through. Do not succumb to this amnesia. Keep your memory alive. Remember what's going on. Stay awake, stay present, and more important than anything, stay free. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at either of these. Remember, turn on the notification bell and subscribe because you know that algorithm's against us, baby. We've got to keep you informed, and remember, we're on Rumble every day. These videos are there in full, first, and for free. See you there. Stay free.
We're following the case of 25-year-old.
Hey!
That shit crazy, bro. That shit crazy. But yeah, it's good to be up on this shit. You know. Hell yeah, to know about that shit. It's good to know about this shit too. If you know about this shit. The stocks. The stonks. But damn, that shit. I got a feeling that this shit about to go down, bro. I mean, over the day, this shit is red, but out those videos and shit. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you another video. Yeah. I guess I could do that real quick.
Where's the outrage? I'm going to go off for a minute here because
Please
where
do.
is the outrage? It's been a week and a half, and now we're doing this story. I get it. Thanksgiving was happening and all that, but they tried to hide behind that, right? Maybe this will make it through the news cycle.
We are change.org. Check this out now. Yeah, with Luke Rudowski. Yeah, hey, check it out, man. It's some real information and shit. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna show y'all this video real quick.
No, it's not, okay? Adidas didn't cut ties 48 hours after Kanye did his whole thing, right? And they got lambasted for not speaking out against anti-Semitism. This is a week and a half, and nobody seems to care that there's little kids involved in this. I can't speak what it's like to be a black man, right? I can't speak what it's like to be a Jewish woman, but I can speak what it's like to be a father of two young boys. And that this type of behavior, when I worked at CBS.com out of a little closet my first show, I was like, I'm going to say this and wear a blue shirt. I got 49 emails saying, maybe wear a purple shirt and maybe don't say this here. Don't tell me this slipped through the cracks when you're getting a court case that features child pornography. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. Jeopardy's got to flip their whole production because of one person said something, but they wanted to be woke and do all that. How many other examples are there? 10, 20, 30, 40 years we're going back to cancel people? But this slips through the cracks. It's outrageous. And that people aren't outraged and skipping work with their posters and going to the courthouse or going to Balenciaga, and stars aren't wiping their Instagram and social media with all their Balenciaga gear is disgusting in itself. Don't you tell me, Hollywood, how to live my life, or you want me canceled, or because you produce something. You're going to go around because Balenciaga pays you $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. Kim Kardashian, shame on you. You're a billionaire. You don't need this company. They need you. And for you to take a week and a half to come to a conclusion, shame on you.
Abso-fucking-lutely. That man is a fucking hero, and as you could tell, there's someone in his earpiece, their producers like, oh no, you're going off script. Stop going off script. Hey, our boss is a pedophile. Stop it. Hey, don't you know the satanic pedophiles are telling us the fucking what to say? What the fuck are you doing? Stop saying, get the fuck out of here, you fucking cunt pussy bitch. I'm gonna continue on my fucking shoots. Fuck that Balenciaga bullshit. Welcome back. Extra beautiful, extra amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudowski here of LukeUncensored.com, and that was a powerful video. That was a video of a man overtaken by bigger truths, and he said, fuck it. I don't give a fuck what they tell me over the earpiece. I don't give a fuck what the fucking script says. This is an issue that I'm not gonna fucking blanket over. This is an issue that I'm not gonna cover up. This is an issue that's actually fucking important, since it involves what is a larger organization pushing the ideas of child fucking rape and abuse. There's no fucking denying it, and the people behind it are literally still keeping their fucking jobs. We cancel people for sneezing the wrong fucking direction. We cancel people for fucking telling stories that are absolutely fucking honest and real. We fire people for the most mundane fucking bullshit. But Balenciaga is still allowed to keep all their fucking shit. The only person they got protecting them right now is what, Ye? Kanye West is saying he stands behind Balenciaga. Again, I don't know. That motherfucker probably is just trying to piss everybody off. But the occult shit has been there, and it's been there for a very long time. You look at, even just some of the other things that they've been hiding in plain sight. There's a reason that they deleted their Twitter page. There's a reason they deleted their Instagram page. By the way, we got a lot of things to talk about here on this broadcast, specifically with what I teased in my main broadcast. But I just want to get off this rant on Balenciaga really fast, because there's a lot of important other shit to get into when it comes to understanding the fuckery in our mainline society. humanity that deserves to be pushed back against and called out. Balenciaga, one of the biggest one, the fashion industry rife with pedophiles who try to use fucking nefarious means and ways in order to trying to normalize people seeing children as some kind of sexual fucking objects. The whole modeling industry filled with individuals like Les Wexner, filled with individuals like Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, predominantly, he was more in the fashion industry than he was on Wall Street. People in Wall Street don't even know who he fucking was. But according to the mainstream media, according to VH1 and the life of the glorious billionaires and their program, he made all of his money on Wall Street. Motherfucker, no one even heard about that bitch ass in fucking Wall Street. He, of course, was all over the fashion industry. He said he was in charge of Victoria's Secret and, of course, connected to Les Wexner that owned Victoria's Secret and owned many other big fashion brands. And many models and many women and many children went to him, and many parents offered up their children to him because the industry is predatory, especially when it comes to small children. If you look at a lot of the models, they're too fucking young, one. Two, a lot of them are set to look in a particular way. A lot of them are set to look like young prepubescent boys. That's not a fucking accident, especially with all the pedophiles inside of that fucking industry. And it's just one coincidence after another coincidence of these motherfuckers out there that literally do real fucked up evil shit, and then they, of course, brag about it. They take pictures of it just so they could, of course, normalize these larger ideas, but more importantly, get off on how fucking obvious they are and show you how fucked up they are, with you guys now having full consent when you participate in their larger Ponzi schemes and in their larger fucking bullshit marketing PR campaigns, paying for $10 bags, paying $10,000 fucking dollars for it for some fucking reason. Again, the whole fashion industry is a fucking scam. All of it. Most of it is a fucking scam. Diamond industry, just like that, as a fucking scam against mass humanity. And again, they even had tape that said Baal on it. And when you look at Baal and Siaga, what does that, of course, translate to from Latin? And that, of course, Baal is king. Who is Baal? Well, he is who ancient Israelites would sacrifice children to, and he was named God, Devil, Baal. And again, lots of sick, nefarious, fucked up things. And what we have to understand from a lot of this is that, one, never give these motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. Because number two, we're still scratching at the surface. What really happens behind the...
Because, the Israelites, again, like I just said in the Old Testament, it say, do not fucking do that shit. Yahuwah told us, do not be fucking with that fake-ass God and doing that dumb-ass shit, like sacrificing your children. And then that's why it's like, they want to be like, fucking Yahuwah gave his only son to fucking sacrifice and shit. It's like, bro, that's some dumbass shit. Y'all just said, don't fucking do that with your children. Don't sacrifice their ass to some fake ass God or no demon, a evil spirit that y'all control. Y'all said, don't fucking do that. So yeah, I mean, he kind of wrong with that shit, but he kind of right because that's the reason why we got fucking made slaves and shit, and that's why we in America and all these places, because they did what y'all said not to do. Yeah, they just kept doing that shit, and motherfuckers be doing that shit right now and don't even know that shit, and that shit whack. So yeah, it's good to read the Old Testament, a chapter a day, cause ain't shit really changed at this motherfucker, as we can see. They still worshiping the same stupid bullshit that they been worshiping, and they still trying to get motherfuckers to fuck up and go against y'all, because that's the only way they gonna get your ass, by making you kill yourself. Yeah, because they can't fucking kill you. If you trust in y'all, yeah, they can't do shit. But, yeah, so they really got to get you to kill yourself. That shit is crazy. But, yeah, that's why it's good to be checking this stuff out. And reading the Old Testament. You can read a chapter a day, bro. I'll be saying that shit. I post it, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram and shit. You can check it out. But, yeah.
In the scenes, what really is going on, we still don't know. There's still a fuck ton of shit that we know absolutely very little about. So in this kind of way, I think it's more than fair to think of the worst possible scenario, because that's probably what's happening there. If you look at how fucking sick and disgusting the government has been acting, imagine how much sick and twisted the government has been acting when it comes to doing these larger fucked up things that they, of course, are keeping secret and using your tax dollars in order to finance. Another thing that your tax dollars are being used to finance is the larger eugenics depopulation agenda that I think personally is being pushed through this larger COVID-19 sickness narrative, which is filled with a lot of fucked up things that fuck people up. And again, many powerful people, including, of course, many people who ditch their Secret Service in order to go to islands where they rape children, individuals like Bill Clinton, are also regurgitating the same fucking scripts as almost everyone else in power and authority, saying that they were vaccinated, that they were boosted, and they were COVID positive, but somehow fucking grateful. How are they fucking grateful? They're not. They're fucking PR propaganda that they're just regurgitating a part of probably what is like a larger disinformation population control agenda. How else do you fucking deny? What else do you need to fucking see than to see the ass-hattery, the fuckery of these motherfuckers that rape children that are trying to get you to inject yourself with a rushed experimental substance that we still have no long-term studies about in your fucking veins that there's no going back from. Fucking hell. I mean, come on. Come on. They're still telling you to get vaccinated. They're still telling you to get boosted. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? And the people who do, they deserve your prayers. They deserve your help. And if you know anyone, I mean, it's easy to laugh. It's easier to criticize. It's easier to point fingers. It's easy to say, you dumb fucking sheep, you deserve this fucking treachery. No, I don't like doing what's easy. If you see anyone that's still convinced that somehow they need to believe in any of this nonsense, they need to comply with any of this nonsense, it is your job, it is your duty, it is your responsibility to go up to them, grab them by each shoulder, and fucking shake them, be like, what the fuck's your problem? I'm kidding, I'm joking. Don't actually do that. Don't actually physically hurt anyone. But it is your job, it is your duty, it is your responsibility to be like, hey, do you find it weird how all the people who are getting boosted are getting sick? Hey, don't you find it weird that most of the people dying are vaccinated now? Didn't you, the Washington Post even reported on that? Don't you find that weird? And you're gonna do it you're gonna do it again when it didn't work the first time? It didn't work the second time? It didn't work the third time. It didn't work the fourth time. It didn't work the fucking fifth time, but the fifth time is somehow going to be different. Get the fuck out of here, man. And again, the treachery that we've been put through is still not ending. As, of course, Chris Martinson put a very cheeky video out there highlighting of what is he reporting, an Iranian police officer choking a woman for not wearing the state-approved mandated head covering. And it's not an Iranian police officer. It's, of course, a police officer in Australia that was choking a woman, assaulting her because she wasn't taking care of her health by wearing a mask. That's the fuckery. That's the insanity of the fucking state. This is why we cannot allow the state to become any bigger. Look at this fucking abusive, tyrannical piece of shit monster. Oh, you don't have a face diaper on you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Time to get all fucking chokehold. Time to go fucking Undertaker on you. Get the fuck out of here. And again, from the beginning, I was even conflicted on this shit. And I've always stood by one principle. Voluntarism. And I said from the very beginning, if you want to wear a mask, you should be voluntarily be choosing to fucking do so. I personally, in the beginning, when the government was saying, hey, don't worry about this. This is fine. It's cool. You know, go to Chinatown. You saw the people dropping dead from China. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it, what the fuck? Why is everyone telling, like, this looks fucking legit. And the government's telling everyone to fucking run around everywhere as China was literally flying people into the United States, but not flying people domestically. I was like, what the fuck? This is a deliberate fucking agenda. I'm going to fucking put on my mask because there are studies highlighting specifically when it comes to influenza, when it comes to other kind of diseases. Masks have a very small effectiveness. They do work in some instances. And that's why in the beginning I was like, hey, personally I'm going to wear a mask. It should be voluntary. The government shouldn't be forcing people to do this. And then of course, now obviously some people are criticizing me for it. Fine. That's okay.